So welcome to this class focusing on dealing with burnout. This, is an experience that I'm sure we've all had at different phases and stages, and for some of us more than others. I had an autoimmune condition that lasted nearly a decade, and so I can really appreciate how it feels to have no energy and to feel sort of frazzled or burnt out. So please, wherever you're at inside your body-mind today, honor, respect, and be so gentle with yourself. We're just coming through a very intense, global experience with the COVID. There's a lot of unrest in the world in so many places. These equality issues are finally coming to the surface, but it can bring up a lot inside of each of us as well. And how do we deal with it, right? These inequality issues, these racial issues, these ecology issues, there's so many issues. And when our issues get into our tissues, it can create dis-ease, it can create disturbance. I got into Ayurvedic medicine through no doctor being able to support me with my autoimmune condition, and that's how I came to study and now as a clinical Ayurvedic specialist. So in Ayurvedic terms, burnout can often be when our vata, the air and ether elements, have gotten really high, or the pitta, the fire. So we literally burn out. We've gotten too much intensity, too much overdoing. We need to counter burnout, overwhelm, anxiety. This might even look for you like depression or depression and anxiety, or just complete exhaustion. However this is manifesting for you, we need to slow things down. And for you pitta types that want to go, or get the sense of self-worth from doing, which we've really been trained as good little humans to do and get our sense of worth from how much we do or accomplish. And I really feel that betrayal, self-betrayal, is one of the major causes of burnout. Every time we betray ourselves, every time we ignore our own intuitive knowing or our own body signals or our own inspiration or inclinations, and when we set that aside, or when we ignore it, or when we shut it down and do what we think we have to do or should do, and the ego will tell us a lot of stories about have to, should. And when we can really take a step back and see that we have choice in everything, it's not that there isn't consequences. If you don't pay your rent for 6 months, you might not be able to live in that apartment anymore. However, we do have a lot more choice than we let ourselves know and let ourselves actually experience. So please listen to your body today. Everything I offer here is just a suggestion, and we're going to be moving slowly and mindfully, with the focus really being on presence opposed to doing. And that can be very difficult if our nervous system is so dysregulated or wound up or strung out. It can feel very difficult to slow down or to be still. So we're also going to bring in some movement, because movement is important. We don't want to become static or completely stationary. We want the flow of prana to move. But when our ojas is the term for our vigor, our deep strength and immunity, when we burn out at that level of burning up the ojas, this is when we can have long-term depletion. And if you're in that phase, then the slowing down and being really mindful of every movement, of tracking where your energy goes and where you leak it out. So I was talking about, leaking out our prana, our energy, from self-betrayal, from doing things that aren't really aligned, from saying yes when we mean no, from going, overdoing because we don't have a sense of self-worth that is established internally, and it's depending on the external. And all of this way of being, or say we're operating in a victim mentality or scarcity mindset, we will burn out through all of this. Does that make sense? All right, let's begin with a settling practice. If you feel like you would prefer to lie down, do so. Otherwise, come into a sitting position that is comfortable for you. And we're going to place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. So you're really making physical contact with your body here, where your hands are presencing your heart and your belly. Two very important centers in the body. Two very important perception centers. And when we dismiss the knowing of our gut response and our heart response, this alone creates anxiety, depression, overwhelm, stress. Because our soul is constantly trying to pull us back to ourself, back home, to say, this is who you truly are. Why are you ignoring that? Why are you forgetting that over and over? Come back, come back. Come home to yourself. Come home into your body and create a safe space inside yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that is up to us to cultivate a safe inner space. And this is the practice of yoga. We can do that primarily tangibly with the breath. So I'll invite you to begin to slow the breath down, breathing in and out through the nostrils. If you know Ujjayi, bringing in that slight constriction of the epiglottis and feeling the sensation of breath at the back of the throat as you narrow the passageway. Allow your eyeballs to relax behind the closed lids. And if it feels easy and right for you, place the tip of your tongue to where the back of your teeth and the roof of your mouth meet. And let your face relax. Allow this wave of relaxation down through your neck and your shoulders, down into your torso, through your organ body. And feel the subtle movements beneath your hands. What happens as you breathe in? What do you experience or notice on the exhalation? And I invite you to stay in the curiosity, in the not knowing space of, oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, isn't that interesting? It feels very easy to take an in-breath, but a little stifled on the exhale, or whatever you might discover, without laying a judgment on top, without laying a narrative on top, but genuinely getting curious about what you discover and staying open to the constant change. So in this moment, feeling into what you're bringing to class today. What's going on in your body today? What's going on a mental level for you? Is the mind very busy? Is it spacious? And how is this connected to your emotional body? And as you exhale, just consciously let go of your day so far, the past week. Take off of your shoulders and lay down onto the earth any sense of burden or responsibility that you carry. Offer it over. Exhale, set it down. And in the same light, set down any idea of who you have to be. Particularly for this time of this class, just set down any sense of getting anything right or fixing or changing anything. And just experience the breath is coming in. The breath is going out. The breath is coming in. The breath is going out. It's all that's happening in this moment. Hand on the heart, hand on the belly. The breath is coming in. The breath is going out. And inside yourself, if it feels true and right for you, just mentally repeat to yourself, I'm willing to release what no longer serves me. I'm willing to set down, to offer up any old patterns, belief systems, thoughts, ways of being, behaviors that are keeping me fatigued, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, spinning in circles. And I commit to saying no to what no longer serves me, so that I can say yes to myself, yes to my well-being, yes to living in a healthy body, yes to realigning myself with who I truly am. And I give myself permission to have the time and space, knowing that I am worthy and deserving of taking care of myself, of making myself a priority, and of resting deeply, no matter how that looks to anybody else. So take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. One last time, inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Gather your palms together at your heart, palms touching. Keeping your focus at Anahata Chakra, at this heart center. Let us chant the universal healing sound of Om 3 times. We'll invoke this sound, this primal vibration. And I invite you to bring it in through the crown of your head, down through the third eye center, down through the throat, to land into your heart, to open up, to vibrate any stuck energy. We'll do this 3 times together. Breathe in to chant. Feeling the space within your body. And then starting to sense the space around your body. Feel your body in relationship to the floor, the walls of the room that you're in, the ceiling. Feel all of the space in all directions around your body. And then begin to find your center. Notice wherever that is for you today, or where you would like it to be, and place your attention there if it's in your heart, in your gut. I encourage, if you feel all your energies up in your head, to just draw your focus down in the body to ground the energy. So we focus on Apana Vayu. That means the downward moving force, the exhalation. This will bring a more grounding and stable feeling to the nervous system and to your whole sense of being. Begin to rub your hands together quite vigorously so you've got some heat there. And then cupping the hands over the eyes, the practice of palming. Let the warmth in. Really receive this healing energy that floods out from your heart chakra, down your arms, into your palms. And then once the heat is faded, do that one more time. Rub the palms vigorously. And let the light in, let the warmth in. Or block the light with your hands, but let the light of energy from the palms come in. And then once that heat is faded, you can come back to the day. And I'm going to demonstrate the first couple of practices, and then we'll do them together. So these are very simple practices where we're getting the synovial fluid of the body moving and really shaking off any tension in the muscular body. So the first part of the practice is just letting the lower legs flop. You imagine the bones rotating, but the muscles just really flopping off the bones. So that will be the first part. The second part, you hook your heels into the floor. The feet are more in a parallel stance. And you need to really relax your body here. And then there's a pumping action. So you start to pump from the balls of the feet. And if you allow yourself to relax enough, you'll begin to feel movement through your whole spine. And if this is new to you, don't worry if it feels very rigid right away. It's a bit of a practice to get that ease in the movement. Okay, so come down onto your back and just start with the legs. So the feet flop in and out, towards and away. Imagine you're just tossing the thigh muscles off of the bones, the calves releasing. That's it. You're really just shaking ease into the body and releasing any contraction, any tightness, any holding patterns in the lower body. And then come to stillness and just notice, what do you observe now that there has been some movement? And then we'll move to part 2. So bring your feet parallel, about shoulder width apart. Relax through the back of your neck, the upper back. And then when you're ready, start to pump the balls of the feet. So you're really just rocking on the heels and the back of the head. But I initiate this movement from my heels and then thinking about the balls of the feet sort of pushing towards and away through space. Keep your mouth open a little bit. And then pausing, close your eyes. Let your feet and arms relax completely. And let the muscles start to receive the support from the earth. To really give over your body weight. Notice if you have any holding patterns in this posture. And if you come across areas of tension, just soften. You can even mentally repeat to yourself, relax. And mindfully sweep your arms out and overhead so that you clasp your hands together and turn your palms away from the crown of your head. Flex at your ankles, so you're drawing your toes towards your shoulders. As you inhale, stretch out as long as you can be through the body. Just reach, 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 and exhale, relax everything. And then this time, point your toes away from you and stretch your hands away from the head. Reach through the whole length of the body. Stretch, 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 and relax. And take your legs over to the left. Walk them all the way over as far as you can. Take your upper body over to the left, so you're making a big C curve. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and gently lengthen all the way from the feet to the hands, breathing through the rib cage. Feeling this beautiful C curve through your body. Soften the shoulders, the face. And then walk your legs back to the middle. Bring your spine back into alignment. And then glide your lower body over to the other side. And the same with the upper body. Grabbing hold of the left wrist with the right hand and feel a gentle reach. Breathe here. And then come back to the middle. Bend your knees. Place your feet mat width apart. Let the knees fold and touch one another. And then bring one hand back to the heart, one hand back to the belly where we began. Close your eyes here. This is a constructive rest position that will allow you to restore your nervous system. Let it be easy. There's so much power in simplicity. There's so much power in stillness. And we think, oh, well, I'm not doing anything. Yes, we are. In stillness is where we heal. It's where we remember who we are. It's where we recognize the truth of ourselves. There's so much happening in the stillness. Welcome some breath into the back body. So behind your heart, where your shoulder blades are. Invite breath there. Invite breath down into your lower back. All the way into your hips and pelvic bowl. And then use your next exhalation to bend your knees up into your chest to give them a little bit of a squeeze in towards your body and rock from one side to the other. And then come back to center. Place your right hand on your right knee, left hand on the left knee, and begin to circle your knees slowly, slowly away from each other. Like you're working through molasses. So that you can explore the nuances of this movement, the differences in your right hip and your left hip. And keep returning to the breath. The breath is moving in, the breath is moving out. And then the same movement, but go in the opposite direction. Begin to reverse that circle. And see if you can go even a little bit slower. We're training the nervous system when we move slowly to come back into that parasympathetic state, the rest and digest state. And then coming back to center, keep your right knee bent in, straighten your left leg out along the floor, and then exhale, deepen your hip crease, bring the right thigh a little bit closer towards the ascending colon, right into your torso. If it feels good for your head and neck, you can exhale, bring your forehead up to meet the knee, and then gracefully lowering down. Take hold of the right knee with the left hand and extend your right arm out on the floor. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, the right leg comes across the body. Lift your left hip up and back underneath yourself slightly, so you're more on the side of the left hip. And you can look straight up. You can look out towards your right arm, wherever it feels good for you. And come back into that softening into the support of the earth beneath you. Imagine all of your muscles just oozing out along the floor like an amoeba. Spreading out, relaxing, softening, melting. And then wait for the inhalation to bring your right leg back to center. Adjust your pelvis. And exhale, switch your legs. Fold the left knee in. Feel the compression of the thigh into the left side of the torso. We're now massaging the descending colon. If it feels good, exhale, bring your forehead up towards the knee. Shoulders stay down. And then lower your head down. Relax. Extend your left arm out to the side. As you breathe out, take your left leg across the body. Pick up your right hip, scooch it back slightly, and finding the best place for you for this twist. No force. So we're creating new neural pathways, teaching ourselves to be kind to the body, not to push or pressure the body, and not to condemn the body for wherever it is. And inhale, bring your knee back to center. Realign your pelvis and extend your legs out, arms down by the sides. Coming into stillness and close your eyes here. Stay in the body. When the mind goes to past, future, it's exhausting. So presence is one of the best ways to recharge and refuel, just by staying with your breath. All right, I'm going to invite you to slowly roll onto your belly. Take all the time you need to come over. And then from here, come into Sphinx. Your elbows directly under the shoulders. Finger bones spread, the toenails flat down on the earth so your legs are parallel. Draw your chin in slightly so your head is an extension of your spine. Press into the forearms and breathe expansive breath into your lower back. As you exhale, feel a gentle pull of the navel towards your spine. And on your next breath out, slowly lower down all the way to the floor. Take your right knee out to the side, directly out from the hip. Walk your upper body over towards that. Stack one hand over the other hand and rest your head. This is a restorative posture, so make sure it's comfortable. If it doesn't feel good, adjust it. Adjust it so that you can be at ease here. Just be mindful that your jaw is relaxed. And then mindfully transition to the second side. Come back through a neutral spine. Take your left knee out. And curving over to the left side. And then when you're ready, ease yourself back to neutral. Slide your hands under your shoulders and fold into child's pose.
Imagine some loving hands on your lower back area. You're breathing into these loving hands, touching your lower back, bringing warmth, a sense of groundedness, a sense of peace. Then bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up. And then if it feels good for you, clasp the hands on your lower back. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. And you can rock the hands side to side or make circles from the shoulders. And see how slow you can move with a quality of grace and ease. And then release your hands down, extend your arms forward, and come up onto your knees. And then walk your knees back a little bit, a few inches. Walk your hands forward a little bit and start to bring your heart towards the earth. Your head may touch the floor, it may not. Either way is fine. You can put a block under your forehead if that feels better. Invite space between the shoulder blades, across the chest. And imagine your sitting bones reaching back, back, away from your fingertips. So there's a gentle opposing stretch here as the fingertips reach forward and the sitting bones draw back and up. And then begin to draw your hands forward, rolling up onto your knees. Take your time. There's absolutely no rush. And then ease yourself down onto your buttocks. Extend your legs out in front, give them a little shake, a wiggle. And then cross the legs. If it's not okay for you to sit cross-legged, you can be in any other position that feels good. And if your lower back collapses here, that means you need a little bit of height under the sitting bones. So putting a cushion or block under the sitting bones. We'll begin to bring the prana, bring the movement through the shoulders. So draw your shoulders forward and up as you breathe in and squeeze at the top. And then as you exhale, keep squeezing as you draw them back and down. And then let your breath be truly the inspiration to the movement. So it's less of muscular effort and more that you're just riding the waves. I am enough here and now. Me being is enough. I no longer buy into the illusion that doing more than what feels right and good has any benefit to me or others. I release and let go of what no longer serves me on my path, on my journey. I relax into the present moment. Reverse the direction of the circles. Inhale as your shoulders come back and up. Exhale as they come forward and down. If you fully, wholeheartedly believed that you were enough as you are, what different choices would you make in your life? How would you respond differently? How would you behave differently? Take one more cycle of the shoulders. Relax, come back into stillness, close your eyes. Bring the tip of the tongue to where the teeth and the roof of the mouth meet. Soften the jaw. As you breathe out, draw your chin down to your chest. Inhale, take the left ear over to the left shoulder, making a half circle. Breathing through the side of the neck. And slowly chin back to the chest, taking your head to the other side. And go through this motion at your own pace. Explore all the sensation that your neck has to communicate to you, to offer. And repeating mentally to yourself the mantra, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, body, for being here today. Thank you, body, for your ability to move in these ways. Thank you, body, for your unconditional offering of life, of all the trillions of activities that you do all day long. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make your way back to your head coming up into neutral. And then as you exhale, float your gaze over to the right. The chin stays on the horizontal plane. Inhale, pass back through the middle, and exhale, floating. We're tapping into the quality of floating here. So it's not about doing the movement, but attuning to a quality of being, a quality of feeling. So how easy can you make it feel? Can you glide through space with soft eyes or even closed eyes? And then bringing the head back to neutral. Shift the weight back into the fingertips behind you. Extend your legs forward. And again, give them a little bit of a shake. And then recross your legs. Put the other foot or other leg in front. Take your right fingers over to the right on the floor. Inhale, float your left arm up. Feel the rotation of the arm bones. So the shoulder blade comes down. Maybe the arm's even a little bit in front of the body. That's okay. Then come up and over to the side. Focus more on the reach up than down or over. So you're getting a lot of extension through the side body. You can turn your gaze to the earth for a more grounding feeling. You can look straight ahead. Relax your shoulders. And then inhale back up, grow tall through your spine. Slowly lower the arm down. It's an exploration. So you get to notice what you notice, to be in the body, in the subtle transitions of your life. It all matters. And then floating on your next inhalation, the other arm up. Take your time. Feel the rotation of the arm bone, all the length through the side body. You get a sense, what is the quality here? Am I in an easeful place? And if not, what do I need to do to make it feel better? Maybe you need to change the posture entirely. Maybe you need to make a little modification or adjustment. Give yourself permission to listen to what feels right for you. It doesn't need to look like you think it needs to look. And then inhale, floating all the way up. And enjoy the exploration. What does it feel like to lower my arm through space? Such a benign action. There's miracles happening as that arm lowers down. Inhale, grow a little bit taller through the spine. Take your left hand to the opposite thigh. As you exhale from the navel, begin to spiral very subtly So don't go to 100%. Begin practicing what 50% might feel like. And then slow it down. Notice your breath. Where is your focus? And then release back to the middle. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, it starts deep down from the navel, then the ribs. Eventually the shoulders come along. Stay connected down through both of your sits bones. Equal connection. And then inhale, coming back to the middle, hands on the knees or the thighs. Breathe in, draw your heart forward. As you breathe out, full round spine in the back body. So you're extending from the hips forward. And then exhale, making a nice big C curve. What goes on in your hips and your lower back? And then move the other direction. And coming to center. Bring the weight back onto your fingertips, extend your legs forward, and give them a little bit of a shake. All right, take your right foot, step your right foot in towards your pelvis, and come from underneath and take the right leg across the left. Take your left fingers and lace your fingers in between the toes. It might be even a little bit stiff or uncomfortable. Start to fold your toes forward and back. Then use your other hand. You can take the thumb into the arch of your foot, just massaging the sole of the foot. You might feel some really gnarly places in there. Keep your spine long. And then slide your ankle a little bit past beyond your thigh so that you can rotate the ankle. You're just moving your hand through the toes rather, to rotate the ankle joint and go the opposite direction. Engage your core support. That's it. And then you can either leave your foot up on the thigh. Some of you might bring it further up on the thigh. If that feels too much, just have it on the floor beside you. And on the inhalation, you'll bring the knee in towards the center line of the body. And as you exhale, inviting it down. You're not going to force the knee down, but perhaps just 5% pressure down. Inhale as the knee comes in, exhale as it lowers. And then place the foot on the floor, come behind the thighs. You're grasping the thigh. As you exhale, lengthen your legs straight out. As you inhale, bending the knee into the chest. And doing that a couple of times. Stay tall through your spine. And the next time that your leg is straightened out, you can gently lower it down. Bring your hands, snuggle your hands right into your lower back. My fingers are facing away from me so that my lower forearms, my only forearms, are snuggled into my lower back for support. From here, close your eyes. Feel the difference between your two legs. Notice any sensation. And we'll do the same thing on the second side. So bring your left foot in across the thigh, lace your fingers in between the toes, Now what tends to happen is people kind of round forward and collapse here. So stay lifted and begin to fold your toes back and forth. You can use your other hand to massage the sole of the foot. And then begin to circle your ankle joint. So ama, in Ayurveda, we call toxicity ama. We can have physical toxicity that often gets stuck in the joints and creates tension, discomfort, achiness. Good, and then reverse the direction of your circles. We also have mental ama, mental toxicity, and this is why meditation is so powerful for clearing out the build-up of mental, emotional toxicity. And this can create burnout when we're not releasing, whether it's toxins in the physical body, mental, or emotional bodies. Good, relax. You can bring your foot further up or bring it back onto the floor. Inhale, knee towards the center of the body. Exhale. Notice how this hip and knee are different. And then bring your knee to center, clasp behind your thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, extend the leg out. So this is one of the only ways that we bring this range of movement from the ankle, the knee to the hip without weight bearing. So make sure that you're tracking properly. And then extend your leg out. Again, tuck your forearms into your lower back for support. This is called Parambik Sthiti, or base pose. Close your eyes. And again, feel, notice your lower body, the two legs. And then open your eyes. Slide your feet up toward your hips, coming into a squat. Now, if this is not okay for you, you can be on the edge of a chair, on the edge of your sofa, or you can put a bolster underneath your pelvis. Today, I've got my hands, all tips of my fingers and thumbs touching in this mudra here. See that? And opening, using my back body and elbows to press into the inner legs to get traction through the spine. Breathe down into your hips, into the pelvic bowl. We'll stay for just 2 more breaths. And then extend your hands forward, tip your weight forward and come onto your hands and knees. If this is not okay for your wrists, you can always make fists or come onto your forearms. Otherwise, spread the finger bones. See that the crease of your wrist is parallel to the top of the mat. Have your knees directly underneath your hips. Inhale, lifting the tail, allow the organs to soften down towards the earth. Lifting the chest and take the gaze only to neutral. Don't take your head past neutral. Exhale, scoop the tail under, scoop the organs up. Relax your head down. Move at a pace that feels appropriate for you. If you're used to moving quickly, please try something different. Try moving slowly. Honor your body. And then coming to neutral, So flat back. Inhale, float your right arm out to the side. And as you exhale, take the back of the right hand all the way through so that you come down on your shoulder. Use your left hand on the fingertips for greater support. You might like to bring your hand onto your lower back, wrap it around to your opposite thigh. And if it feels stable, you can extend your left leg and begin to open your heart towards the sky with the hand on the floor, up or behind. So stay current with your body today. So maybe this feels good some days and not others. Really honor your process. Bring your left hand back onto the floor if it's not already. Use that support to inhale back to center. Float your left arm out to the side. Take the back of the hand, slide it all the way through. And find the place that feels right for you. Use the left hand back onto the floor for support, coming back up to the hands and the knees. And have your big toes together so that they touch. Walk your knees wide, so they're as wide as the mat, and come back into child's pose. Now, you might like to keep your arms forward. You might like to rest them on some stacked fists, or you might even like to slide your hands through the legs and turn the head to one side. And come back to that image of loving hands on your lower back. They may be hands of someone that you know and care about. They may be hands of an angel or a guide. They might be your own hands. Now reach your arms forward. Shift your body weight onto your knees. Tuck your toes and slide back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. And then lowering down, you can either put your knees down onto the floor right away or bring your knees, chest, and chin down together all at once. And come back onto the forearms for Sphinx, this gentle back bend. And watch that you don't dump the weight down, but you're really lifting up. Press into the forearms, draw the chin in slightly. And then lower your heart down to the floor. And ease yourself onto your back. So rolling over, take your time to adjust. And once you come down onto your back, have your feet flat on the ground, the knees bent. Your feet are parallel and about hip distance apart. Bring your palms down, slightly away from the body. As you inhale, tilt the pelvis so that your lower back kisses the floor. And then as you exhale, release that back to the neutral position where there's likely a little bit of a gap or a big gap between your lower back and the floor. And just that much, you're rocking on the sacrum, your pelvis stays on the floor, and you're just massaging your lower back area. Coordinate this movement to your breath. So it's really just the bones and the breath, your muscles deep into your hips, the psoas, everything else relaxes. And then coming to stillness, close your eyes for a moment, feel the space of your hips, your lower back. Keep your left foot flat on the floor. Take your right ankle past the left thigh, and you're flexing your foot. You're flexing at your ankle. Take your hands, so your right arm will go through the window of the legs, clasping behind the left thigh. You get to explore here, so you can take the left leg a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the right. Or perhaps you draw the left thigh closer to the torso and use your right elbow to press the thigh away from you. One more breath here. And mindfully placing the left foot flat on the ground and switching to the second side. Take your left ankle across the right thigh. Exhale, draw the right thigh towards your torso. And in my body, it feels good to use my left elbow to press the left thigh away from me. If that works for you, great. If not, great. Find your expression. One more full, loving breath. And then release the right foot onto the floor, left foot onto the floor. Clasp your hands behind the back of your head. We'll just finish by gently rocking the knees side to side. So you're twisting in a fluid way, slowly, evenly. And then coming into Shavasana. This is a wonderful time if you do have a bolster to put it under the knees or an eye pillow or a blanket. Please have what you need so that you can be comfortable, so that your nervous system can relax even deeper. Really set yourself up. You are worth being comfortable for. Now, ironically, when we're feeling overwhelmed or stressed out, the Shavasana can be a difficult place to be in this stillness. So if you feel fidgety, if you feel like your mind is somewhere else, just having acceptance and compassion for yourself that it's difficult to be still. And then you can always return to the breath as your greatest tool and greatest asset. As you come into stillness and close the eyes, welcome relaxation through your toes and your feet. Allow your toes, your feet, your ankles to relax. Welcome a sense of groundedness, of heaviness down through the lower legs and the knees, into your thighs. Allow your thighs, your knees, and your lower legs to relax. Releasing and softening through the hips and the pelvis. Let the earth support your lower body entirely as you relax. Softening through the torso, through the rib cage, up into the chest and the shoulders, and relaxing from the back body through the shoulders, the back of the ribs and the lower back. Letting the weight of the torso be received and supported from beneath.
as you fully release and relax. Relaxing through the neck and the jaw. Your jaw and your neck relax. Relaxing the back of the head, the top of the head, the forehead, your right eyebrow and your left eyebrow. Relaxing through the eyeballs and the cheeks. Your eyeballs and cheeks soften and relax. Relaxing your upper lip, your lower lip, your jaw, all the way into the throat. Your jaw and your throat relax. This relaxation pours from the throat down into the heart, where you abide and rest fully in your heart space. Remain in your stillness, relaxed and quiet. And come back into presence in your body, inhabiting your entire being, from the tips of your toes, feeling awake, alive, invigorated, up through your feet and your legs, letting the prana, the energy, fill you up through the legs to the hips, through your torso and arms, all the way down to your fingertips. Allow energy to come back into your heart and your throat and up to the crown. So your whole being is filled with energy, harmonious, balanced energy. And maintaining that as you slowly start to wiggle and move your fingers and toes. You can turn your head gently from one side to the other. And then sweep your arms overhead. Take one more big stretch. Inhale as you reach, and stretch, and exhale, release everything. Hug your knees into your chest. Give your knees a squeeze. And take a moment to genuinely appreciate something about yourself. What do you genuinely appreciate about who you are or your body? And roll over to your right side. Pause there for a moment. And consider how you want to re-enter your day. What is the energy you want to return to the day with? And then ease yourself up. Come into a comfortable sitting position. We'll move into a pranayama practice for the nervous system. And then we'll finish in this way. So alternate nostril breath. I like to use Nasagra Mudra. First two fingers resting at Agya Chakra, the thumb and third finger opening and closing the levers. I'll talk us through this practice. I know that many of you know it. And what's really key here is that we start with a foundation. So instead of just jumping into it, we're going to set a foundation of pace for the breath. So start with the hands down, the eyes closed, feeling a length through the spine. And if you feel fatigue, if this feels too much to do this practice, you can just mentally do the practice without the hand mudra. So begin by bringing your focus just outside of your nostrils. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. And then feel the air on your upper lip as you exhale. Begin to bring a count to your breath. So as you inhale, count 1 Om, 2 Om, 3 Om, 4 Om. Whatever your inhale count is, match that with the exhalation. So if you count in for 4, count out for 4. If you're inhaling for 6, exhale for 6. And get a strong, steady baseline. When you feel established in that rhythm, you can slowly bring your right hand up into the mudra. Wait for the end of your next exhalation. And at the end of that exhale, close your right nostril with your thumb. Carry on with the same count as you inhale through the left nostril. At the top of that breath, close the left nostril, release the thumb, and exhale out through the right side. Breathe back in through the right nostril at your own pace. The top of that breath, close the right nostril, release the left, and exhale. That is 1 round. So carry on at your own pace. Keep your head in alignment and your shoulders relaxed. The next time you breathe out through the left nostril, that will be the end of your practice. You can keep your eyes closed and just lower your hands. Keep your awareness internalized. Notice the effects of the pranayama practice and the whole class. Notice what has shifted for you physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. And return to the focus at your heart. Imagine a jyoti, a candle flame or a light at your heart center. And see this golden light radiating out throughout your torso, down into your hips, your legs and your toes. This light radiates up into your shoulders, down your arms to your fingertips and thumbs, up into your neck, into your head. Welcome this light into your whole being to remind the cells, the tissues, the bones, and the blood, to remind your entire body that you are one harmonious entity and that you desire to feel balanced, that you desire to feel vital, invigorated, that you desire to know how to relax. So all of these feeling states, we're just reminding the body mind that this is possible. And our job is to make choices in our life that line up with that, to make choices that take us further towards greater health and well-being on all levels. And notice what pulls us out. Notice what creates the toxicity. Notice where we betray ourselves by not listening to the rest that we need, by not listening to the food that will nourish us, by not listening to the signals and the knowing of our own body. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One of the best ways that we can begin to heal is through gratitude and appreciation. It's through appreciating things as you move throughout the day. And often these things are more subtle, the things that we take for granted, whether it's our body walking through space, whether it's the food that we have in our fridge or the sunshine in the sky. There's so much that we can really wake up to and remember. And it's a choice. Do we choose to see the beauty and the abundance in our life? Or do we choose to see the lack and what's not working? Doesn't mean we don't address these feelings. We're not spiritual bypassing. We're honoring what arises within us. We're honoring the wisdom that the shadow has to teach us. And then we use that wisdom to make a choice. Bring your palms together at your heart. Feel this relationship between the right hand and the left, the temperature, the touch. And we'll come full circle and finish where we began with the universal healing sound of Om 3 times together. Let that come into your body through the crown, down into your heart. Inhale to chant. And rub your palms together, creating some heat. Once you've got that heat there, cup them over the eyes, block out the light, and look out into the warm darkness. And once that heat is faded, rub the palms together. And for this last time, place your hands on any part of your body that needs some healing, some warmth, some attention, and breathe that life force into your being consciously. Thank you so much for your presence. It's a privilege to be with you here today. Thank you. And I'd love to hear how you're doing. Feel free to type into the chat how that practice was for you, if anything has shifted for you, or you're welcome to unmute yourself if you have any questions or comments. Hi, Una.
Yes, hello. So you have studied Ayurveda as well. How long did you do that for?
How long did I study Ayurveda? Oh, I'm still studying Ayurveda. I feel like it's a lifelong practice. My formal training was with Dr. Vasant Lad in New Mexico and in India, and also through college in California for a few years there as well. Yeah, but I feel like it's just an ongoing evolutionary process.
I've just taken an exam in my first year in Ayurveda diet and lifestyle consultation.
Beautiful.
So waiting on the results of that. So I've now got to decide if I want to take on the next 18 months for practitioner. So that's where I am at the moment.
Congratulations, that's wonderful. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Carolyn says, gotta run, but beautiful practice. Thank you, you're welcome. Branka, thank you, Melanie. Feel uplifted. Awesome, Branka, that's great. Lori brought back to center. Amazing how much I yawned. Yeah, Lori, that can be a real tendency of releasing energy. It's not a bad thing, but that yawning can sometimes just be a way that we release stuck energy. So if that happens, don't worry about that. Just let the yawns come. Quinn says, very lovely. Thank you. You're welcome, Quinn. So great to have you here. Pauline, lovely practice. Maria says, great, thank you. Feeling really chilled. Nice. All right, well, so great to be with you all, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday's the next class. The Sundays are no longer happening from here on forward, but the Thursdays will be happening. So I look forward to seeing you then. Enjoy the rest of your day. Much love. Bye.